stand near an open window on a chilly autumn morning, or listen to a soaring musical chord that hits just the right note and your skin changes almost instantly. Tiny bumps ripple across your arms and legs, and the fine hairs on your skin rise straight up. It is a reaction so automatic that you cannot force it to happen, nor can you easily stop it once it starts. We call them goosebumps or goose flesh because the texture mimics the skin of a plucked bird. But birds are not our ancestors, and birds do not have skin quite like ours. What you're experiencing in that moment is a biological relic, a survival mechanism built for creatures far hairier than modern humans, operating on an ancient neural circuit that has remained active long after its primary job faded away. To understand why this happens, you have to look beneath the surface of the skin at a tiny engine operating millions of times across your body. Every single hair on your skin grows out of a microscopic pouch called a hair follicle. Attached to each follicle is a tiny band of smooth muscle called the erector pili muscle. Under normal conditions, these muscles lie relaxed, allowing your body hair to rest flat against your skin. But when a specific signal arrives from your brain, every single one of those microscopic muscles contracts simultaneously. As the muscle tightens, it pulls the hair follicle upright, causing the hair shaft to stand at a right angle to your skin. At the same time, the pulling motion tugs at the surrounding skin surface, creating the characteristic raised bump right where the muscle attaches. The controller behind this movement is your sympathetic nervous system, the same branch of your automatic nervous system that manages your fight or flight response. You do not consciously decide to flex your erector pili muscles any more than you consciously decide to digest your lunch or dilate your pupils. Instead, the brain handles it all behind the scenes, primarily through a region called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus acts as your body's internal control center, constantly monitoring internal temperature and emotional states. When it senses a sudden drop in ambient temperature, it flips a switch, releasing neurotransmitters like adrenaline and norepinephrine into your bloodstream and nerve pathways. These chemical messengers bind directly to receptors on the erector pili muscles, commanding them to contract immediately. Now, if you look at a modern human with fine, sparse body hair, this reaction seems almost absurd. Raising a few dozen translucent, wispy hairs does virtually nothing to keep you warm or protect you. But rewind the clock several million years to our mammalian ancestors, and the exact same reflex was a brilliant engineering solution for survival. In animals covered in thick fur or feathers, raising every hair creates depth. It lifts the outer layer of fur away from the skin, trapping a thick pocket of air right beneath it. Air is an exceptional insulator when trapped in place. Your body heats that stagnant layer of air, creating a natural puffer jacket that prevents body heat from escaping into the cold environment. A cat or a bear standing in a freezing wind gets an immediate, renewable thermal barrier simply by triggering its pilomotor reflex. Cold weather is only half the story, though. You have almost certainly felt goosebumps when you were not cold at all, but startled, terrified, or deeply moved. The reason emotional states trigger the exact same reaction comes back to that fight-or-flight pathway. When an animal encounters a potential predator, the sympathetic nervous system floods the body with adrenaline to prepare for immediate action. Raising the fur during a threat serves a vital deceptive purpose. It makes the animal look significantly larger and more intimidating than it actually is. Think of a frightened cat arching its back with every hair standing on end, or a chimpanzee puffing up its coat during a territorial display. To a rival or a predator, that sudden increase in apparent size can be the difference between an attack and a retreat. Because human emotions still run through those same ancestral neural pathways, intense feelings like fear, awe, or even a sudden shift in music can trigger an adrenaline spike. When a piece of music builds to a powerful climax or a movie scene delivers a sudden shock, your brain interprets that spike in emotional intensity through the same ancient alarm system. The hypothalamus sends out a burst of adrenaline, the erector pili muscles pull, and your skin reacts as if a predator just stepped out of the shadows or a freezing wind swept through the room. In evolutionary biology, we call traits like this vestigial mechanisms. They are anatomical features or automatic responses that preserved their structural design even after losing their original primary function. Our ancestors relied on dense fur to stay warm and deter enemies, making the pilomotor reflex an essential tool for daily survival. Over millions of years, as early humans evolved efficient sweating mechanisms and adapted to different climates, we lost that dense coat of fur. Yet the underlying wiring, the microscopic muscles, the nervous system pathways, and the adrenal triggers remained completely intact. So the next time a sudden chill or a goosebump-inducing song makes the hairs on your arm stand up, you are catching a direct glimpse into your own evolutionary history. You are watching an ancient mammalian defense mechanism fire off perfectly, running a script written millions of years ago, even if the fur coat it was designed for is long gone.